Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing good wherever you're watching this from, because there's a lot to unpack with the newest update for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. First off, the headline edition is Kim Jae Hoon joining the roster, and if you've played any of his previous appearances, you already know he's all about speed, pressure, and making you panic in the corner. In City of the Wolves, he feels tuned to really test defensive habits. His normals come out fast, his movement feels light, and a lot of his pressure strings are clearly designed to bait bad reactions. SNK didn't just drop him in as a nostalgia pick either, because his kit has been adjusted to fit the Rev system really cleanly. You'll notice that his Rev Arts reward clean confirms rather than wild guesses, and his combo routes feel flexible without being brainless. He's strong, but not in a way that immediately screams top-tier menace, which is honestly a good sign for overall balance. Speaking of balance, this patch made adjustments across a huge chunk of the roster, and the general theme here is less extreme damage swings and more emphasis on sustained offense and smart resource use. Some characters that were deleting health bars off one clean opening have had their damage scaled back slightly, especially on longer combos that abused corner carry. At the same time, a few underused characters got meaningful buffs that actually address why people weren't picking them, not just random number tweaks. You'll see faster startup on certain normals, improved hitboxes on anti-airs that were unreliable, and better frame advantage on specific special moves that previously left characters feeling unsafe even when they made the right call. The Rev system itself also got some tuning, and this is one of those changes that you really feel after a few sets. Rev gauge build has been adjusted so that reckless offense carries a bit more risk, especially if you're constantly canceling into pressure without confirming hits. Overheating still hurts, but now it feels more consistent in how quickly you get there, which means players who manage their gauge well are going to stand out even more. Defensive options tied to Rev feel a little more deliberate now too, so you can't just mash your way out of trouble without consequences. Ranked match also saw a pretty big overhaul with Phase 2 rolling out, and this might be the most important part of the update for long-term players. The ranking system has been rebalanced to better reflect actual performance instead of just grind time. Wins against higher-ranked opponents matter more, losses feel less punishing when the matchmaking is clearly uneven, and progression overall feels smoother. It's not perfect, but it definitely feels like SNK listened to feedback from Season 1, where people felt stuck in ranks that didn't match their skill level. On the technical side, there are a lot of quality-of-life fixes that don't sound exciting on paper, but make a huge difference. Input detection has been cleaned up in several situations, especially during fast scramble moments where the game previously ate inputs or gave you something you didn't mean to do. Training mode also got some quiet improvements, including more stable playback behavior and better consistency when testing defensive scenarios. Online stability has been touched up as well, with fewer random hiccups during matches and improved synchronization in longer sets. One thing that's worth mentioning is how this update sets the tone for the rest of Season 2. With additional characters already confirmed and more on the way, this patch feels like the foundation rather than the peak. The balance philosophy is clearer now, fewer wild swings, more emphasis on decision-making, and stronger identity for each character without turning the game into a guessing contest. Even if your main took a small hit in the patch notes, chances are they still function the same way, just with a little more thought required to maximize damage. There's also been a lot of talk in the community about presentation choices around Season 2, and while opinions are all over the place, none of that changes how the game actually plays once the round starts. And honestly, after spending time with this update, the gameplay side feels solid enough to keep people invested, regardless of outside noise. Overall, this update feels like SNK tightening the screws rather than flipping the table. It rewards players who adapt, who lab their options, and who stay calm under pressure instead of relying on autopilot strategies. Whether you're jumping into ranked, grinding matchups with friends, or just experimenting with a new character, there's enough here to make the game feel fresh again without alienating players who stuck around through Season 1. And if this is the direction the rest of Season 2 is headed, City of the Wolves is setting itself up to be a much more refined and competitive experience going forward.